welcome to Live in the Solution. I'm your astrologer and tarot card reader, Mary Trimble, here with your readings for December the 9th through the 15th. What an incredible celestial sky we have this week. A lot is going on, but that's for the astrological report. So if you're new, welcome. I really hope you enjoy these readings and that you will return. And if you are returning, thank you so much for your loyalty, support, and love. Now, these readings are for the collective, guys. So take what resonates and leave the rest. And if you would like a more tailored, in-depth personal reading, then click on this link here and that will take you to my website and you can take a look at the kind of readings that I offer. Now, these readings are for your sun, moon, and rising. So if you know your sun, moon, and rising, then check out the other readings. All the links will be in the description box below. It'll say show more. You click on that, or if it's on a telephone, it'll have a little arrow pointing down, and that will open up the links to everything. I have a Facebook group, guys, and every 2 weeks I do a live feed in that group, which correlates with the new moon or the full moon. It is a private group, so you just have to click on the link below and request to join, and you'll just have a couple of questions that you have to ask. That's it. So yeah, well, whoever shows up for the live feed, then I look at the horoscopes and their sign and see how you are receiving the energy from the new or the full moon, respectively. So I'll be doing one this week coming up for this full moon in Gemini. So we have lots of fun there. It's really cool. Now, another way to support this channel, other than likes and shares and comments, which I really appreciate, guys, check out my Patreon page right here. I post things on there that I don't post anywhere else, or sometimes I preview them there before I make them public. So you can support me for as little as $1 a month, which is what, $12 a year, which is not a lot, but it's a lot for me. I can do a lot with that. And if you can't, that's fine. Just like, share, comment, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Lastly, these readings come in 3 sections. There's this section, which is the intro. Then there is the astrology report. And then after that is the tarot reading. I have the skip stamp times for each section below, right above, directly above all the links to the other videos. Sometimes that will be there straight away, but sometimes it takes me a minute to get all the links up. So bear with me. I have to upload all the videos first, and then I can put in all the links. So guys, without further ado, let's go to the astrology report, shall we? Hello and welcome to the astrology report section of your reading for December the 9th through the 15th. So gosh, there's so much going on. We start off with Monday, the 9th of December. Mercury moves into Sagittarius. It's going to feel like a breath of fresh air because Mercury has been in Scorpio since October the 3rd. You know, it's been there for over 2 months because of the retrograde. You know, it was just about to come out and then it went retrograde. So it has been a very long journey. And it's in Scorpio, we had to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves, you know, and some of us are still shaken up by that, by those revelations. We will go from these deep, intense and detailed oriented thoughts and conversations to the bigger picture, a little bit more scattered and perhaps saying things without much foresight. So we can kind of, you know, there's very little filter between thought and mouth. It's just it just comes out. Mercury moving into Sagittarius is going to lighten the mood. We'll feel lighter, we'll feel more optimistic and more joyous. When Mercury is in Sagittarius, our thinking shifts from this need to dig deep into any given situation or topic to the desire to learn about everything. It's like we want to know everything. We want to learn. So we see this, we want to learn about it. We see that, we want to learn about it. We're like excited about deepening our education or knowledge. So our thinking becomes more optimistic, our faith becomes stronger and increases, and we are more idealistic. We're more concerned with what is fair and what is not. But under this influence, with Mercury in Sagittarius, we may not always make the right choices. Now, Mercury and Sagittarius don't exactly get along. Mercury represents our thought process and intellect, communication, whereas Sagittarius can jump to conclusions, seldom listens, and can be a bit impulsive. This transit can be challenging when it comes to communicating with others. We may be more optimistic and joyful, but we also have a tendency to make decisions based on assumptions, which can cause catastrophic errors in judgment. So be aware of this tendency and slow down. Resist the urge to make decisions before talking it over with trusted friends or family members. Remember, don't assume anything until you have all the facts. Resist the urge to jump to conclusions. Now, Wednesday, December the 11th, Venus conjuncts Saturn in the early hours of the morning. This aspect is challenging for love and finance. Your relationships could go through a lack of connection or lack of emotion. A stable relationship can weather this storm, but if your relationship is on rocky ground or unstable legs, it may not survive. If you meet under this influence, there could be a significant age difference and probably will be based on practical considerations rather than a partnership rather than a love match. This transit can also affect your finances and you could find yourself strapped for cash. So planning ahead might be prudent at this time so that you won't be in this predicament again in the future. Now, Thursday, December the 12th, we have the full moon in Gemini at 12:12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let's talk about the significance of the number 1212, 1212. This is the 12th month, and on the 12th day, we have the full moon at 12:12. How crazy is that? Well, this is a very significant number in numerology. It represents the highest vibration. It's a connection to the higher self or the light body, spirit guides, and it's the ascended master's frequency. So if you keep seeing this number, like I have been seeing this number a lot over the last few months, particularly, it's more and more frequent for me. You are connecting to that light, or you're being urged to connect to it. It's the new earth awakening vibration. It's that frequency. It's very high. So this is an incredible opportunity. It's almost like a portal has opened up for this because so this is about change. So not only do we have this full moon, and as most of you know, the full moon is when the sun and the moon are opposite each other. It's actually the sun's light that illuminates the moon. It's the sun feeding the moon, if you like. So the moon is in Gemini and the sun is in Sagittarius. And full moons are about culminations and endings, crescendo coming to, it's change, right? It's endings and beginnings. Gemini is about the intellect. It's about the thought process, the spoken and the written word. It's about books and about learning, right? While Sagittarius is about spirituality, adventure, and higher learning. It's kind of a higher octave of learning. And it's about optimism. Now, at the same time as this full moon, there is a T-square, what we call in astrology a T-square. And that T-square is to Neptune. So that means that Neptune is square to both the sun and the moon. This is a challenging aspect, right? Squares are tension, and they're kind of motivating, if you will. Now, the lowest octave of this energy is the monkey brain, right? That's what will be highlighted, what we call in meditation the monkey brain. It is that unconscious chatter in the background that's constantly going, that's there all the time, and perhaps sometimes we're not conscious half the time. Some of us aren't conscious of it at all, but some of us are awakening and hearing that voice in the back of our heads that is saying, you're not good enough, you'll never do it, you're too old, you're too young, you're too fat, you're too thin, you're too ugly, too dumb, you'll never make it. Oh, look, see, there you go. You've done it again. It's that kind of energy. And it's that. So the antidote to that is meditation. Meditation quietens the monkey brain. So listen, we may be too idealistic or perhaps even deceptive. That's the lower octave of it. We may be overly sensitive and we may take things personally. This full moon will shed a light on the truth and will bring something from the unconscious into the conscious. Maybe make us aware of what we're thinking and how we feel about ourselves, or how we're allowing this monkey brain to dictate how we feel about ourselves, right? Now, meditation, I always say this, if you've watched me before, meditation isn't about controlling your mind, but it's about not allowing your mind to control you, not dictating our actions according to our monkey brain. The higher octave of this energy is that we connect to higher energies, to that light, that 1-2-1-2 frequency, right? Because the veil between the worlds with Neptune at play becomes very thin. So we are able to communicate with spirit in the ethereal realm. It will empathize with the suffering and the plight of the less fortunate around the world. And it's imperative that we conduct ourselves with honesty, kindness, and integrity, and that we keep a positive mindset. It's like visualize the manifestation of your dreams and wishes, practice that. The energy surrounding us right now is really fast and furious. All the planets are traveling direct and they're picking up speed. So they are going full force. It's like we're on the express train to 2020. So we are manifesting our beliefs at an incredible speed. So it's really important to make sure that you are in the I can and will mindset as opposed to I can't or won't attitude. Now, I haven't finished, guys. There's more. On Friday, December the 13th, Mars trines Neptune. Now, with Mars trining Neptune, your sensitivity and creativity is stimulated. It creates a magnetic, attractive, and sensual charm. which is ideal for romance, you know, inspires a spiritual connection with romantic partners, whether you're in one or you're meeting one. It feels so right. This aspect can also spur an urge to stand up for the underdog or a human rights cause. Anything that you feel is unjust, it's like you will be moved by that. Although this isn't an aggressive energy, it will give you the courage to fight for the rights of people, animals, or the environment based on moral and ethical values. It's very idealistic, but very action oriented. So you want to get up, you want to stand up, you want to do something tangible for what's going on in the world. Well, we're seeing it around the world. People are getting more and more involved in protests. Look what's going on in Hong Kong. Anyway, so also on that day, Venus is conjunct Pluto a couple of hours later, right? What is it? 4 hours later or 3 hours later. So you're going to feel this is kind of energy that's around now. This brings a need. It brings in the need for a deeper and more meaningful connection with your partner, or indeed, if you're single, the longing to fall in love. The desire is so strong that you may manipulate others, even engage in atrocious behavior like stalking or spying on your lover or partner, going through their emails or their phone or their bags or their coat pockets and things like that, and surreptitiously. It's not good. Spying on people, tracking their phones and their computers and things like that. It's really not okay to spy on anyone. It's not. It will actually create the opposite of what you desire. It will push someone away because everyone inevitably gets caught doing that kind of stuff eventually. So it's important to resist the urge to control and allow things to play out, even if the result is not what not to your liking, because karma is attached to this energy, and we must play it with honesty and integrity. We must, come from a higher perspective or a higher energy. If you meet someone during this transit, you could jump in over your head and become infatuated or even obsessed, which can spur the behavior I've just highlighted, So take it slow. Keep your friends in the loop and confess the temptation to manipulate or do anything that's kind of nefarious or underhanded or sneaky, so that they can talk you out of it. Now we move on to December the 15th, Jupiter trine Uranus in the afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is a wonderful energy, guys. Fabulous surprises and wonderful opportunities could pop up out of the blue. Small miracles kind of thing, that kind of thing. It's like, oh, wow. Serendipity encounters with influential people can happen. It's a time to take risks, actually, and push the boundaries, of how far you can go in a good way. It's a lucky day. Actually, it lasts for more than a few days, but it's the most intense on Sunday because that's when the aspect is exact. So what a lovely day to end the week on. So without further ado, let's go to your tarot card reading, shall we? Hello, Cancer, and welcome to your reading for December the 9th through the 15th. This is for Cancer. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Cancer for this coming week? This is for Cancer. Three cards for Cancer. Oof, there you go. Two more cards. There's one. One more card for Cancer, please. One more card for Cancer. Oh gosh, here we go. One more card for Cancer. There it is. Alrighty then. Oh no, you got 2 more cards. Okay, so you have 4 cards. All right, now these are clarifying cards for Cancer. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Cancer through these clarifying cards for the week of December the 9th through the 15th? Okay, it's for Cancer, for Cancer. Please clarify. Please clarify. Oh, and please clarify. Okay. That's that, that's that, and that is that. Okay. Cancer, you are really feeling this full moon. The moon is your ruling planet. So you are always tuned in to full moons and you feel those moods and you're moved by them. So let's take a look at your card, shall we? Okay, the first card out for you is the 9 of Wands, clarified by the moon, your ruling planet. Then you have the Lover's card, clarified by the 6 of Wands. Then you have the King of Swords right next to the Temperance. The Temperance has come up for quite a few people. And you have the 3 of Pentacles. Okay. Cancer, the first card out for you, let me pull that up a bit, is the 9 of Wands. The 9 of Wands is like, you know, you're all, this, this reminds me of me. I've been like, you know, at 9,000, almost at 10 for, it seems like forever. And it's almost like I just want to give up sometimes. I'm dog-eared, I'm beaten up. This is like, you know, but when this card comes in, it's saying you're almost at the finish line. I feel like I've been almost at the finish line for months. And don't give up. You know, he's standing there and he's protecting what he's built up and he's worked very hard and he's, you know, not trusting and he's waiting for the next, you know, he's been bashed around and beaten up by life and it's almost like he's really tired of fighting and losing battles, or, you know, he's been winning, don't get me wrong, but he comes out, you know, exhausted and he's tired. He's like sick of, you know, this can be like sick of, you know, being on the treadmill, you know, earning money to just keep your head above water sometimes, and not even that sometimes. So it's an exhaustion. But the 9 of Wands is like, listen, you're almost there, darling. Don't give up. Just keep going. Do what you do. So you can have a little respite. You can, you know, heal your wounds, take a minute for yourself, and then get back in there. But I'm getting don't dilly-dally. I want to sing that song, don't dilly-dally on the way. I don't even know the words to that. I get my messages sometimes in songs. FYI, my spirits have a sense of humor and they know that I love to sing, even though I can't. So clarifying, this is the moon, and the moon is going to shed a light on what you need to address. I feel like you're coming to a culmination, I feel that you're going to reach your goal this week, and the moon is coming in to bring that light, to shed that light, to, you know, shed the light on the shadows too, in the shadows. Don't be afraid of the shadows. I feel that this is kind of an emotional time for you. Yes, of course it is. It's the full moon in Gemini. You're going to feel that. And not only that, you've got the sun involved in Sagittarius, and you've got Neptune involved. There's so much going on this week. There's so many energies influencing the celestial sky, and therefore, we're feeling it, and particularly Cancerians and Geminis and Sagittarians and Pisces. I think everybody's feeling this. They really are. Now, you have the Lovers card coming in. I feel that love is in the air. This can mean a decision, but I'm really not getting that. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be a lover per se, but it can be. If you're in a relationship, it can mean falling in love all over again, but it can be inviting somebody new in. And I feel that this is kind of a blessed, if you've just met someone, maybe it'll go on to the next phase of your life, but it's a really nice energy, because you've got the Six of Pentacles, not Pentacles, Wands. So this is passion and fire and celebration, and you being celebrated. So I feel that somebody could come in and really kind of sweep you off your feet and adore you. And there's definitely adoration. I'm getting adoration. So somebody could come in and just put you on a pedestal, which isn't necessarily a good thing. I always say when you're on a pedestal, the only way is down. So what I'm saying is enjoy it. Enjoy this. Enjoy being on the pedestal. Enjoy the adulation and the accolades from that. I feel that you will want to celebrate, and it's a nice feeling. This is a lovely feeling. It's a lovely energy for you, Cancer. And then you have the King of Swords, and the King of Swords right next to the Temperance card is all about balance. He's about, it's don't take any shortcuts. It's what I said in the astrological report. It's really important for us to come from a place of integrity, to be honest with ourselves too, not just with others, with ourselves, because we can lie to ourselves more than we can lie to anyone else. So it's really important to be really honest and cut to the truth. It's, the thing is this can be like an infatuation, or, this person could be infatuated with you, and then you might return it because it feels good, right? But don't allow it to go so far that you don't see the truth in the situation. Look, we're all human. We all have flaws. It's important to see that, because, when we're falling in love, we can ignore all those truths and those, we choose not to see them, we rationalize them. So this is about, this is about moderation. It's slow down. This is one of those things where it's a whirlwind and you want to just marry them in 2 weeks kind of thing. But this is telling you, slow down. Everything in moderation. Take your time. Get to know this person. This can also be a business partner, or perhaps a deal or something going down. And don't be rash. Make a very informed decision and include others in this. You want to, I always think of this as the Justice card. Look, that's the Justice card, and that's the Temperance card, which is balance too. This is really about balancing your life and being very serious about it. Don't get carried away on a pink cloud. It's about seeing the truth and being honest with yourself and others. Really share with others what's going on. I think we all have the tendency to kind of keep things close to our heart, but we need to kind of talk it out with people that we trust, people that will, drag us back down to earth and tell us, that people that are truthful with us don't have a problem telling us the truth. I value my friends that tell me the truth. I value, I don't want my friends to BS me. I want them to say, look, you're out of your mind. This is crazy. Trust me, I've been in those crazy places, in those crazy situations. I cringe when I think of it. But I survived. Hey. Anyway, so clarifying these two cards is the Three of Pentacles, and this is about teamwork. It's about creating something. Look, this energy is very creative and inspirational too. And, music will take you to places that, will raise your vibration too. So this is about really focusing on what really matters. This is what can you create that's going to benefit society at large, what. And it really is about that team. It's about working as one, remembering that we are one. All of us, we're all one. Remembering where we came from and where we will go back to. It's so funny because I always think of us, I think of us all much like a lava lamp, right? We're one big blob. And when the lava lamp is turned on, right, it kind of separates and then it goes back. And we're all source energy. We're all one. We're all, we're from this higher vibration and this oneness. And then the lava lamp turns on, we're on planet, we're in this 3D dimension, this three-dimensional world, and we have this illusion of being separate, but we're not. We can go back and connect with the collective, and then we can separate and go back. And so that's how I think of us as being one. Anyway, I digress. Cancer, thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, family, neighbors, co-workers, social media. Comment. If you've been around and you know me, I answer every comment and I welcome feedback. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week.